You are welcome to yet another episode of LFN What's Your Say? The leading listening show where we discuss important issues with important people like you. We are still featuring R. Kelly. Real name Robert Sylvester Kelly. Also known as the R&B King. In a society that prides itself on justice and fairness, the courtroom stands as the ultimate arbiter of right and wrong. But what happens when the legal system bends under the weight of public opinion, media sensationalism and past grievances? In this episode, we dive into the typically controversial case of R. Kelly. A case riddled with legal complexities and a glaring question: was it right to resurrect old allegations that had already been closed in the pursuit of a conviction? Robert Sylvester Kelly, who is globally known as R. Kelly, has been the center of legal and moral scrutiny for decades. The Grammy-winning artist faced allegations of sexual misconduct and abuse spanning years. However, at his 2008 trial, previous allegations were resolved and he was duly acquitted. With new charges placed against him in 2019, now we must dissect how the justice system handled his case and whether it adhered to the principles of due process. In his recent trial, prosecutors returned to court with more allegations, not only focusing on new accusations, but also reopening wounds from past cases that had already been closed. Cases where R. Kelly had either been acquitted, or where charges were dropped due to lack of evidence. This approach, however, raises very critical questions. Is it fair to bring up old charges in a new trial? Does this violate the defendant's right to a fair trial? And most importantly, does it set a dangerous precedent for the justice system? To understand this issue, we need to reflect on the legal principles of double jeopardy and statutes of limitations. Double jeopardy is a cornerstone of legal fairness. It ensures that no individual can be tried twice for the same offense. Once acquitted or convicted, this principle protects citizens from enduring endless cycles of prosecution for the very same claims as a safeguard against government overreach.
Simply put, double jeopardy is the act of prosecuting a person for an offense for which he or she has already been tried and/or prosecuted. Double jeopardy is prohibited by the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution of the United States. Specifically, there cannot be a second prosecution for the same offense after acquittal.
Similarly, statutes of limitations exist to ensure timely prosecution of crimes. Over time, evidence deteriorates, memories fade, and the ability to mount a fair defense diminishes. By allowing old resolved cases to re-enter the courtroom, we risk undermining these foundational principles of the justice system. During R. Kelly's trial, old allegations, some dating back decades, were reintroduced in an effort to paint a bad picture of his character and alleged misconduct. These charges were presented not as standalone cases, but as part of a broader narrative to demonstrate a pattern of behavior. While this might seem justified in the court of public opinion, in the court of law it blurs the line between seeking justice and staging a conviction. Prosecutors leverage these past allegations under the guise of showing prior bad acts, a legal maneuver often used to establish intent or pattern in criminal cases. However, this approach is not without fault, as it risks prejudicing the jury, making it harder for them to focus solely on the evidence presented for the charges at hand.
Statute of limitations in California gives a prosecutor a certain time limit in order to file charges on a case. In felony cases in California, that limit sometimes is 3 years. In misdemeanor cases, that limit is sometimes 1 year. What it means is, if I committed a misdemeanor and the prosecution doesn't file charges in a year, that case cannot be filed against me.
In the pursuit of justice, one principle stands firm, and that is fairness. But in R. Kelly's case, fairness seems to have taken a back seat. Today we ask, was due process upheld, or did the system bend the rules to secure a conviction? By ignoring statutes of limitations, therefore, the justice system risked transforming from an impartial arbiter into a tool for retribution. This dangerous precedent could impact anyone eroding trust in the rule of law. And then there's the role of the media. From documentaries to viral social media campaigns, the narrative around R. Kelly was already cemented long before his trial began. The public had largely decided his guilt, swayed by emotional testimonies and dramatic portrayals. This media storm, coupled with the return of old and acquitted charges, made it nearly impossible to secure an unbiased jury, further complicating his right to a fair trial. The reintroduction of old allegations played directly into this media narrative, bolstering the prosecution's case while overshadowing critical questions about fairness and legality. Legal experts in fact caution that such practices threaten the integrity of the justice system, making it more about winning than about fairness. Here's what we need to ask ourselves: should a person's past, especially one that has already been legally addressed, be returned to overshadow the present charges? By allowing old accusations to dominate the trial, did we ensure justice, or did we simply satisfy a thirst for retribution? The case of R. Kelly forces us to confront uncomfortable truths about our justice system. Yes, justice must be served and victims deserve to be heard. But justice also demands fairness, impartiality, and adherence to the rule of law. When we compromise these principles in the pursuit of a conviction, we risk eroding the very foundation of our legal system. Meanwhile, this isn't just about R. Kelly. It's about a precedent that could affect anyone. If we allow the justice system to retroactively resurrect closed cases and use them as evidence, where does it end? Today it's a high-profile celebrity. Tomorrow it could be anyone else like you and I. Justice therefore must be blind and not swayed by public opinion or past prejudice. And as we continue to discuss cases like this, let's remember, the real measure of a justice system isn't just in its outcomes but in the fairness of its process. What do you think? Leave us a comment. Was justice served in R. Kelly's case? Or did the system overstep its bounds to secure a conviction? What do you think about the introduction of already acquitted charges from the past into the new trial? If you wish to take part in a live interview discussing any of these topics, let us know by sending an email to sasha@lfnmedia@gmail.com for scheduling. Thank you for watching today's video, a production of LFN Media, giving you another perspective of issues at hand. We make it our business to keep you updated with the truth amidst the cloud of lies the media wants you to believe. It is therefore important to subscribe to this channel, hit the bell icon and allow all notifications so that you don't miss out whenever we publish a new video.